Testing. Perfect. Hey, everybody. So I am just getting things set up right now. And I will be starting in a couple of minutes. I just wanted to make sure that microphone is working well, that the camera is working well, and that I can share this. Hold on a second. Share it inside my Facebook community. Perfect. All right, so it has been shared. If you do happen to hop on and you want to say hi, you want to let me know where you're tuning in, please go ahead. I am not going to start just yet. Just give me a minute or two. Lots of people hop on. I know I said I was going to start at noon, but I just wanted to make sure that the tech was working. And I've been basically running around the entire morning, as you can see behind me. Down there, there's a lot of stuff, homeschooling stuff, because I am in the middle of getting my kids' portfolios ready. So for anyone that's never had to do a portfolio, it's basically kind of like not an evaluation, but it's kind of like a binder that you prepare with all your kids' learning material from September up until now. So you can imagine I have 4 kids, and I have to do this for all of them. And we have our evaluation with our educator, with the teacher, in 2 weeks, and she wants to see like traces and things that we've done together throughout the year. And it's the first time, you guys. So if you guys are brand new to my world, I started homeschooling my kids in September of 2020. And I'm brand new to this, right? So at the beginning, I really just didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I was kind of snapping pictures all over the place and just storing them on my iPhone, not really thinking of how to find them at the end of the year, when portfolio time is around the corner, or when you have to show traces of work to the government or to our rep. And now I'm in the position of just looking through our stuff, and we have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of stuff for kids, 4 big containers with books and worksheets and just a bunch of stuff. And I'm just trying to stay organized. So now I know how to organize my stuff for September. And I've already started to prepare the curriculums and things that we're going to be working on, and really trying to simplify the process and making sure that it's working for everyone, right? Because I think one of the best things that I love about homeschooling is that you make it work around your schedule, right? Versus school, where you kind of make the kids have to fit in, a certain routine, and everyone, has to do math at the same time, and everyone has to do this at the same time. Homeschooling is very, very different, right? Yes, it's structured, but not like school. So I think that's one of my favorite things. In September, we decided that we were going to be homeschooling 4 days out of the week, and maybe have a catch-up day if it's needed. So I think that's going to work best for us, because my kids love just going out and having their Fridays off and really just, doing other things that they want to be doing, especially with summer around the corner. And, nobody wants to be in the house 5 days a week doing homework. So we thought September we would try that out as well. So I'm really excited about that, and we'll see how it goes. I will keep you guys updated on how that goes. But yeah, that's what that mess is over there. So what time is it? Oh, we have a minute. Let me go just make sure that everyone is in the group and they are watching. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to start, and then I'm just going to email everyone the recording, because I think that's the simplest way. If you are brand new to my YouTube channel, welcome. My name is Christina Rizakos. I am a childcare business coach. I am a new homeschooling mom of 4. I myself am an early childhood educator by trade. I graduated back in 2001, started working in the field, and I quickly realized that working for someone wasn't really my thing. It wasn't something that interested me. I loved my job. I loved working with the kids, but I didn't necessarily want to be told what to do or follow someone else's program or have to follow their policies, especially when I didn't believe in them. And when I was 24, I decided to quit my job and really just dive all in and start my own childcare business. So my business partner and I at the time, she was 22, I was 24, we ventured out and we started our childcare center. So it wasn't a home daycare, it was a childcare center. And we had this vision, right? We wanted to be moms that kind of called the shots when it came to our family life. Like we wanted to have our summers off, and we wanted to be able to take a few weeks off during Christmas holidays or Easter, or we really wanted to have that freedom that comes with being a business owner. So we dove all in and we just hit the ground running, and we discovered a lot of things, right? So as a brand new business owner, you don't know, most of the time you don't know what the heck you're doing, and that's exactly what I was going through at the time. So brand new, really excited, really motivated to make this business work. I worked my butt off. We were working alone in the classrooms, and then in the weekends going in and cleaning and registering kids and returning messages and trying to create policies and stuff like that in the office. And it was a lot. Like we worked a lot. And we decided that, after a point, that we didn't want to be those type of business owners that worked all day long. So years went by, a lot of mistakes, a few almost burnouts, and we decided that, we were moms at that point, and we just had to create systems in place to make sure that we could kind of pull back, because that's not what we wanted. We didn't want to feel like we had the job. We wanted to feel like we were business owners. We loved what we did. We loved the people we served. We loved our team. Like, they were amazing, but we just didn't want to be in the office all the time. Like, I didn't want to feel the need that I had to go in every single day, right? And years, maybe I think 5 or 6 years, when we really started, getting more busy personally. Like, we had our kids, and I had twins. My last pregnancy were twins. We knew we had to shift things around, and we did. We got real clear on our policies, our procedures, outsourcing, automating things, and really just delegating a lot of things that my staff could do, or an accountant could do, or a virtual assistant could do. And we basically did that for a long time after that. And we would just go into the office maybe once or twice a week to make sure everything was okay. And, we had the life that we always wanted to have, having our summers off, being accessible to our children, and just being there and enjoying other things, right? It wasn't only about business for us. It was enjoying other things. So we started like another online business, and we started going to the gym on Tuesday mornings, and we just basically did things that brought us more happiness, right? And we did that for 16 years, up until last year, where we decided to sell the business and just focus on other things. So I am the founder of Profitable Daycare. It is a blog that I set up because I was getting a lot of questions from aspiring or struggling childcare business owners that they had questions about things. So they would follow me on social media, and they would say, you know what, Christina, how do I start? What are my first steps? Like, I really want to quit my job. I hate where I'm working, and I just want to start my own childcare center. How do I do it? Like, what do I do first? I'm so overwhelmed, and I'm just so overwhelmed with all the steps that I need to take, and I just don't know what to focus on first. So this video is going to focus on just that, your first steps. So if you already have a business, if you already have a childcare center, it's been years and everything is amazing, then this video is definitely not for you. But if you're someone that is either in school or working for someone, or thinking of, one day I'd love to open my own childcare business, or maybe you're right there, and you just want to know exactly if you're on track with your first steps, and this video is for you. So keep watching. So the first thing that I tell anyone when they approach me and they ask me, what are my first steps, is it has nothing to do with money or business. It really has to do with your mindset. Working for yourself is very different from working for someone else, right? Having that employee mentality is so much different than being an employer, being a CEO, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call yourself. Two completely different things. And what I find happening is when someone has been working for someone for a really long time, and then they just kind of move on to the other side of things, where you're calling the shots and people depend on you and you're responsible for everything in your business, then that takes work, right? It doesn't just happen overnight. I mean, yes, maybe you were born to be a business owner, but if you've been working for someone for a long time and you've never actually had your business, it's just something that you've been dreaming of, then you really have to get clear on that. You have to understand that the first thing is your mindset, because business owners don't have the luxury of saying, oh, I don't feel like, respecting the rules today in my business. I don't feel like paying my staff today. I don't feel like opening the doors to my business today. Like, you don't get the chance to do that. You don't do that as a business owner. You're all in. You have a clear vision. You know why you want this, your business, right? You want to know why you're doing this, right? Because you don't have to do this. You can definitely just spend your days working for someone else. So if you're someone that's saying, you know what, no, I'm really ready, I want to start my own business, think about your why. Why do you want it? Like, what's your intention behind it? Is it because you want financial freedom? Is it because you want freedom of time? Is it because you want to stay home and have a home daycare and raise your own kids at the same time? Is it because you love working with little children and you imagine what it would be like to be a team leader of, let's say, a small preschool or a childcare center, or a daycare, and you're just thinking to yourself, like, there's no other way for my life to kind of unravel itself, right? Like, this is it for me. Like, you're obsessed with the idea, right? You have to get real clear on that. So a few questions to ask yourself: are you really committed? Like, are you really ready to go all in? Or is it something that you're kind of thinking about it, but you're not really interested, or you're scared, but you're not, if it doesn't happen, you're okay with that, right? Or is it something that it's like, nope, it's a non-negotiable. I want to work for myself and I want to start my own daycare center or home daycare or preschool program or after school program or whatever it is for you, right? Really, really important for you to kind of make that distinction from now. Are you 100% in? Or are you going to kind of coast your way through, and when things get hard, because they will, that you're just going to say, screw it, it's not for me, okay? And what is your goal, right? Why do you want this business? Is it, again, because you want to be more at home, because you've always dreamt of running your own program? Is it because you know without a shadow of a doubt that you can do an amazing job? You have something special that you can offer your community. So I'll give you a quick example. When we started our business, I had my diploma in early childhood education, and my sister, who was my business partner, was a social worker. So we had this vision of serving our community and actually offering services to kids with special needs, single family homes, newly arrived immigrants, people that really needed child care because financially they couldn't afford to drop their kids off at private daycares or another expense, like hiring a nanny, right? So our program was government funded and it was really for families in need. So we offered that service, right? We worked with that clientele, and that was really important to us, right? So for you, it might be something else. So think about your goal, think about your why. Why is it that you want this for yourself? And then the second thing I want you to, as your first step, is decide on the type of childcare business that best aligns with you. Because I'm pretty sure, if you don't know already, that there's a lot of childcare business types out there, right? There's a lot of types of childcare that you can open up. It's not either, it's not like everyone that starts daycare has to be like a home daycare or a preschool program, right? So what is it for you? What is it for you? I know for myself, starting with a home daycare was something that I didn't want to do because in my mind, I had a vision of serving a bigger community. I had a vision of myself walking into an office and having staff working in the classes. So for me, I knew that it was a childcare center that I wanted to open. But for you, it might be a preschool program. It might be, one of my clients wanted to teach Spanish to kids in her community. So she rented out a basement of a church and she started a Spanish immersion program for her community, right? I have another client that decided to start a big center. So she bought a big building in her town and she's converting that into a preschool program. So what is it for you? Are you someone that wants a home daycare? Are you someone that wants the CEO life and really just being in the office? Are you someone that has plans of opening a second and a third and a fourth installation or building, whatever you want to call it, in the future? So what does that look like for you? And when you get clear on that, then it's easier for you to kind of pinpoint that one specific type of childcare business, okay? Because if you're someone, for example, that doesn't really like being home all that much, well, you wouldn't necessarily open a home daycare because, home daycare, you're spending most of your days at home, probably by yourself, if maybe you have an assistant, but most of the time when you're starting out, you're by yourself. It's like solo all day with the kids. Maybe you're someone that knows that, in a couple of years, you want to kind of pull back from work and hire managers. Well, that's a childcare business for you right there, right? You know that you want that type of freedom, right? Maybe for you, you want to work a few hours a day in a preschool program or a drop-in center is something that's more up your alley. So start thinking about that. What type of childcare business best aligns with you, your lifestyle, and your goal, okay? And think about all sorts of things think about everything that has to do with the type of center that you're going to choose. So the schedule, again, is it something that you can see yourself running, right? So let's say for myself, I have 4 kids at home. There's no way I can say I could commit to working, let's say 10-hour days. It won't work. It's impossible. Okay. So think about that for you. Think about your lifestyle. Think about your schedule. Think about what's important to you and then choose accordingly. your level of commitment, right? So if you're starting a home daycare versus a bigger program, the level of commitment, especially at the beginning, is very different, right? You're going to need more of a time investment when you're starting a bigger center versus a home daycare. Okay. When you're starting a home daycare, obviously you're by yourself, you're setting up your things in your house. And yes, you have to invest money and a lot of your time, but versus, let's say, if you go into a bigger center, the time investment there is so much bigger. And along with that, financial investment. So think about that as well. Are you taking money out of your grocery bills to be able to do this, right? Are you taking food off the table, in other words? And if the answer is yes, well, maybe you should think about that and kind of readjust your plans, right? Sometimes I know that we want to have our dream business now, but most of the time, when we can't afford it, and it's an impossibility for the moment, doesn't mean it's going to be an impossibility forever. But let's say you just got married, you have a newborn at home, you have a lot of bills to pay, one person is working only, and your dream is to start a huge center, right? Well, financially for you right now, if you actually add up the numbers, it might not be a possibility yet. It doesn't mean it's never going to be a possibility, but yet. So when you're sitting down and you're thinking of your business, thinking of the type of childcare business you want to open, you want to keep that into consideration, that financial stress that it's going to cause on your family. Okay. So depending where you are right now, you may be working full time, or you may be not working. You may be at home with the kids, or you may be between jobs, right? So what does that look like for you? And just really make the best decision for your family. Again, it doesn't mean you can't start off small, but if you are going to be burdening your family financially and causing a lot of stress and a lot of problems right now, then maybe it's not the best time for you to kind of venture off and start a huge center. Maybe you can start off small. Okay. The third thing I want you to understand, the third step that you have to take after you have done that mindset work, you're all in, you've decided on the type of childcare business that best suits you right now, is the law. Right? You can't do anything else if you don't know the law, the guidelines, the regulations that you'll need to follow. And obviously, this looks different for every province, every state, every town, wherever you're watching this from. It's different for you. But the first thing you have to do when you get clear on the type of business you want to start is, what's the law? Because most probably, I guarantee you, actually, you will have to follow some type of guidelines, right? You'll have a licensing officer that's going to be working with you. You'll have a set of rules that you'll have to follow. You'll have to respect a lot of things to make sure that you get your license to operate, right, which you need. There's going to be policies to create. You're going to need a location, right? There's a lot of things that go into that. Background checks, and all the other things that we have to do when we're starting a business. But know the law, and don't just skim through it on the internet and think, or don't just ask your cousin, whatever's friend, and say, that's what I have to do. No, really just put on that CEO hat and say, okay, what do I need to know? Go personally, if you can, to your licensing officer. If you can do that, go online. All the information, I'm pretty sure, is there, and really just ask the questions. When I started my childcare business, I made an appointment with my licensing officer, and we met. It took us about an hour and a half. She gave us all the paperwork, and I'm talking about stacks like this because my business was government funded. So there were a lot of rules that we have to follow here in Quebec. For you, it might not be that thick. For you, it might be very, very little. But for us in Quebec, I know we have to follow a lot of rules, a lot of guidelines. So it was a lot of paper. Like, it took us a few weeks to read through everything and to reread it and to make sure we understood everything, right? So again, know the law before you do anything else. And the last step that I'm going to really stop the video at, because I could go on, but I really don't want to overwhelm you. I said that I was going to keep it at your first steps, is market research, right? So when you're starting a business, you want to make sure that when you invest money and time and energy into something that you're building from scratch, it's needed, right? There's no use in starting a daycare or a preschool program in an area where the average age is like 90 years old, okay? Research. There's a few ways you can do this, so I'll just kind of guide you quickly. The first way is obviously get the data from Google, right? So Google gives us access to a lot of information. You want to really zero in on the area that interests you and really kind of work out from there. So a Google search on the childcare businesses that already exist and the area that you want to open up shop in. And then after that, kind of expand from there. You want to be looking at areas where obviously there's a lot of younger families, there's businesses, schools, libraries, really just there's activities, right? There's life. Like your ideal customer would want to live in that area, right? So again, a lot of work on your end. Obviously, you're starting a business. It's not going to be super simple or done in a day, but it's really important, and the steps should not be missed, because if you do decide to kind of skim through it and you find a cute little, a little plaza that has a cute little a space to rent, and you decide to rent it, you open it up and you start, I don't know, or organizing an open house for yourself. And then you notice that no one is calling, no one is booking tours, no one is visiting, no one even knows you exist. Then that's not good, my friend. That's the last place you want to be. So do yourself a favor. Once you decide on the type of childcare business and you know the laws that you'll have to follow, market research is the next step. Choosing an area, a location where it's going to be safe, it's going to be profitable. People are going to be excited about the service that you want to offer. Again, go on Google and really just research families and how many families with younger children and how many businesses in that area. And then you can also expand from there. You can actually go and visit local mom and pop shops in the area where your ideal customer would actually go and shop from, right? So think of toy shops, mommy and me studios, hairdressers for little kids, right? So there's a lot of little businesses in every single town where you can just go in and just ask questions and kind of start meeting other business owners. You can go on local Facebook groups and kind of ask questions about childcare and, really start talking to people in that way. And really just make sure that without a shadow of a doubt in your mind, when you're ready to move on from this step, you know that if you invest a little bit more time and energy in that area, that you know that your business will be profitable. Because it doesn't matter how amazing your program is, it doesn't matter how amazing your marketing is. If your center is in an area where your services aren't needed, then you're going to be doing all that work for no reason. Okay. It doesn't matter if you have the program of the high heavens. No one's going to care. No one's going to know about it. So make sure that you pick a good location. Again, if it's a home daycare, this is very different. But if it's a preschool program or another type of business that you need to rent an actual space or buy a space, especially if you buy a space, you need to know that once you say yes and you sign that lease, or you apply for a loan, that yes, you're going to market, but you'll know that there's people that are looking for daycare. So really important step not to be missed. So that was my video. I do want to mention that I am hosting a masterclass on the 20th of April at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And the topic is a really, really fun one. So I'm going to be sharing how to operate and grow a fully booked and profitable childcare business by going through 3 stages. So every successful childcare business owner that I know went through these 3 phases, and I'm going to walk you through them next. I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday. It's on the 20th at 8 p.m. It's going to be live. You can ask questions at the end. So if you are interested, I'll put the link in the comments. You can go and sign up for that. And that's it. So if there are any questions or anything else that you can think of, go ahead and comment and I will go back and answer them. Other than that, I hope you guys are having an awesome Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you guys again next week. Bye.